a 7-year-old girl, a rickety wooden plank bridge across the gushing Klang River in Malaysia stands between her and her school. 33 years later, that girl, grown up, gathers her 2 young daughters, flees Malaysia, and moves to Australia for a new life and new opportunity. That girl was my mother, and I grew up listening to that story. I want to share with you today the story of the gift of a mother's legacy and the journey of 2 generations of women who want to better the world around them. So, 4 weeks ago, I was at the Guthrie Rodeo in Oklahoma. Hope Pajeski, amazing USA fellow, was hosting me. And she asked me, do you want to try an all-American cultural experience? So, being the enthusiastic Australian, I said, sure, why not? So she leads me behind the spectator stands, around the back of the field, and we're walking up towards a square blue and white, kind of plastic blown up mattress. And in the middle of that square was a mechanical bull. So the oil and gas industry person in me goes, do a quick risk assessment. Is it going to be safe for me to do this? So I had a conversation with Bob, the bull operator, and I said to him, so, what kind of safety equipment do you have? A helmet, padding for my elbows? How do I not hurt myself when I fall off? And he kind of looked at me weirdly, snorted a laugh, handed me a single leather glove that was way too big for my hand, and just motioned me up to the pad. So off I go, get onto the bull, and it starts. So my instinct is, the way to stay on the bull is to hold yourself as rigidly and still as possible, clench every single one of your muscles, and you're going to be fine. But as the, bull's riding up and it's kind of getting faster, I'm starting to realize that my strategy is not working. And above kind of the background noise of the rodeo announcer and all the crowds in the background, I hear a single yelling voice at me. And I realize it's Bob. And he's yelling, go with the bull. Go with the bull. And I'm thinking, Bob's crazy, what's he talking about? But it's then I realize that actually the way to stay on the bull is to relax, to go with the movement of the bull. And if you join that journey, you're going to stay on. Now, as it turned out, I did stay on the bull, so yay for me. So I've had 2 journeys on this Eisenhower Fellowship, a personal one and a professional one. So on the personal journey, I've sat listening to my amazing fellows, the contributions that they've already made, and I know that they will continue to make. I've sat in rooms with global energy experts, at the World Bank, at the UN, at all the amazing academic institutions that America has. And I've suffered from the imposter syndrome. I've asked myself, how in the world am I here on this experience? How did I get here? I was in an Uber going to Stanford about a week after the Guthrie Rodeo experience, asking myself these questions. And I heard Bob's voice in my head, kind of scary, and he was saying, go with the bull. And it was at that moment that I realized that you have to fully embrace the journey that is the Eisenhower Fellowship. You have to relax. You have to go into the meeting and just see where the conversation leads you. Listen to your fellow cohorts. Listen to their discussion. And that was a life-changing moment for me on a personal level. Everyone has doubts. Just get over it and enjoy the moment. On a professional level, the Eisenhower Fellowship has allowed me to think about the complexity of the problem that I want to solve. The energy transition that the world needs to make now in order to ensure that the 11 billion people that will be on this globe by the end of the century have access to electricity with 0 carbon impact. It is a complex problem, And we need every single person contributing to it. The amazing people at the National Renewable Energy Lab working on hydrogen fuel cells, the people working on lithium-ion batteries. We need every single person to make that contribution in order to get that goal. And so I've learned that my project will be to influence the fourth largest gas company in the world, Shell, on a very specific contribution that we make, which is on methane. Now, methane is a very unsexy cousin in the greenhouse gas emissions family. It does not get the highlights and the spotlights of carbon dioxide, but it is 33 times the global warming potential of carbon dioxide over 100 years. It is currently 1/5 of man-made contribution to greenhouse gas emissions, and it is the largest component of natural gas. So anything that one company can do to reduce that impact, and the collaborations that I know we will do as part of this fellowship and the relationships I have made with academics, other gas companies in the supply chain, will have a positive impact on climate change. Now, this is a big project. But I think back to my mother, that 7-year-old girl, running across that bridge every morning because she wanted to go to school. She wanted to have a better life for herself and her family. And I think of the amazing network of the cohorts of the people here, but also in the broader Eisenhower family, and the collaborations with the academics and the NGOs that I've met on this journey. And I know we can do it. Thank you.